I mean, I had the
That was like
color.
the first time when I really felt like an actor. I was like, can somebody get me a tissue? And then somebody went off and grabbed it, but I never liked to abuse that power anyways. Have you ever watched a movie and wondered, how was that made? Well, in this series, I'm going to be reacting to and watching back a lot of the work that I've done, and I'm going to be explaining how it was behind the scenes and on set and how we made it all. So, just a little rundown. I got Jack again. Just a little rundown. So basically, this show that I was on, as you can see, it's called Dark Side of the 90's. This was season 3, episode 8. Basically, the vibe of the show is like it takes stories about celebrities from the 90's, and it like explains. It's kind of like a documentary style about like how they dealt with drugs or like just a lot of bad stuff in the 90's.
Exactly.
So. And what this was, because I didn't want to put the entire episode, I did put a link to the description. So if you want to check it out, you have to go there. But these are just the highlights and my parts in the episode. So that's what it is. Episode highlights. Let's get into it.
His signature mane of fleecy hair is partly a weave. Agassi's been going...
I should also explain, I am portraying Andre Agassi, who is the famous tennis player. He's actually one of the most famous tennis players of all time. So that's who I got to portray. And so basically he wore a wig, and then he eventually shaved it off. This was the role that I had to shave my head for, just so you know. So this was fun.
Bald since he was a teenager. And it's Brooke Shields who finally convinces him to embrace.
This was my girlfriend, wife, I can't remember, but Brooke Shields, who he was dating at the time, like forced him to shave his head because he was like going bald. He was balding, so she's like, just shave it off, because he was like getting all stressed. So that was this scene.
By buzzing off what he has left.
So boom, that what you just saw right there, that was like one scene. So, fun fact, that was like day 2 or 3 when we did that little quick scene. All it was early in the morning, call time was like 9 a.m., got me in at 10 a.m., or like 9:30, and we finished that scene where I literally just go like that, hair falls, finished that scene at like 10:30 in the morning. And day 1, I was there till like 6 p.m. So I finished this one at 10:30. That was the only scene I had going on today, because what they do, they shot that episode in blocks. So they go inside the kind of like the little warehouse they got. They'd have the set for my episode, then they'd switch it to the Mike Tyson episode, and then they switch it, and then they would go to the Spice Girls episode, because they had a bunch of different celebrity stories, and they would all shoot it in this little kind of warehouse. And so it was funny. I'm literally eating lunch right next to me, and right next to me is like this gigantic dude. He's like Mike Tyson. I was like talking to him and stuff. He like studied the way he like hooks and stuff. And basically what they told me was, we're gonna keep you around for the day, because they might want to get you as an extra in the Mike Tyson episode. So I'm like, okay, great. So they're like, yeah, so just hang tight. It must have been till 5:00 p.m. when they got me in the outfit, and then they finally put me in, and they're like, okay, we're gonna get it. And then they cut me. They didn't even want me. They put me in. They cut me, and I was wrapped at 6 p.m. I finished my scene at 10:30 a.m. and I didn't leave till 6 because they kept me there, and then they didn't even use me.
5, he's got a glossy girlfriend, a polished scalp, and a shiny number 2 in the world tennis rankings. But in the shadows, Andre's hiding a secret much darker than a synthetic hairpiece, and it's about to come to light.
I think he was always trying to stay ahead of the game.
That part was dope. So
you snorted coke there?
I was not. I was snorting powdered sugar, which was supposed to portray as crystal meth, which was really fun because my favorite show is Breaking Bad. So I'm like, yo, I get to fake snort crystal meth. And in the first show I did, I fake smoked a cigarette, which was really cool. Just all these like little hacks, because I've always wondered when I was a kid and I watched scenes, I'm like, there's no way they actually smoked a real cigarette or they didn't actually do drugs. So it was cool to see how they actually did that kind of like movie magic and those hacks. So basically what that was powdered sugar, and this is what's really interesting, because they gave me a little a $1 bill to snort it, and what they did, they put Vaseline inside of it so that when you actually snorted, the whole point is that most of the powdered sugar would stick to the inside so that none of it would go up your nose. However, a lot of it did go up my nose, and I got a red nose. My nose started running. I had to call for tissue. That was like the first time when I really felt like an actor. I was like, can somebody get me a tissue? And then somebody went off and grabbed it, but I never like to abuse that power anyways.
I think he just went too far.
They just wanted me to lean back. It was fun.
Agassi denies knowingly taking the drug and blames his assistant for spiking his energy drink until a decade later when he finally tells the truth in his memoir.
Going through Agassi's book, then you come to the point where he actually experiments with meth while he's basically a player.
So I'm lining it up right here with the credit card.
I think in that time when he says he was on meth, I think he was always trying to stay ahead of the game and ahead of the curve.
It was it was actually a fake credit card because what they had, they custom made it to where it said like Agassi on it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they made it to where it said Agassi or something like that. Yeah, it was really dope. So custom little prop there.
I think he just went too far.
But not everyone thinks he was taking crystal meth as a performance enhancer.
Andre's use of meth, in a sense, is not shocking or surprising because, look, he was obviously, in rebellion against his sport for much of the time.
There it is again. I do more.
When do people turn to drugs? Well, when
you
they're
never actually
confused
see
or
my
unhappy or
face.
depressed, whatever. I think
I'll talk about
that probably had a fair amount to do with Andre.
It's just the style of the
miracle,
show.
Magical, life-giving hands.
The drugs seemed to make him erratic.
Maybe even lick one.
So
on the set of the sitcom Friends, where his
Friends,
girlfriend Brooke Shields is guest starring.
Yeah. So that's Brooke Shields right there. In that episode where she's like crazy about Joey and she actually thinks he's like the character in Days of Our Lives, the show that he was on. That was Brooke Shields. So I didn't learn that until I got on the show and I actually checked it out and they had me sit down and watch fake monitors and like react to it as if I was behind the scenes. Because like apparently Agassi was actually there behind the scenes watching on the monitors while she was performing the scene. He got pissed.
Gets irate watching a scene that he thinks is too sexual.
Puts on his glasses and my little tennis outfit from the 90s and
he storms off and drives back to his home in Las Vegas alone.
That was the final scene I ever had to shoot in that whole thing. It was day 3, I believe. It was a 3-day shoot. Friday, Monday, Tuesday. And that was the final scene I ever had to do. And then it was, yeah. Oh, this scene was fun, dude.
Where he destroys most of his tennis trophies.
So that was a one-taker. That was a... Oh, shoot. Wait, I crash out more.
Despite incidents like this, Andre hides his addiction from Brooke. And they tie the knot in a small ceremony in April of '97.
Okay. A lot to unpack there. That scene was the most fun to shoot. They made the whole set into like this whole living room that I was in. Had like tennis rackets up on the wall, fake trophies. And what they did was so neat. Oh, sorry. The director told me, he's like, this is a scene where you're going to swipe it off and break everything. They blocked me out how I'm going to swipe it and how I'm going to crash out. And what I did, because I'm like, oh God, this needs to be perfect because these are actually going to break, right? So I swiped them off and then they broke. And then they're like, okay, cut. We're gonna do it again. Like, how are we going to do it again? And then all these prop people came in, fixed them. Apparently some were like magnets, some were glue. They put it back together like that, dude. They were good. They were really good. They put it back together. They were ready in like 5 minutes to go again. I did it again. This scene, however, I'm just gonna back it up.
To his tennis trophies.
That scene. So I actually had to throw a trophy at the wall and knock off some stuff, and that was a one-taker. I threw it. They blocked me. I think, was I a lefty when I threw it? I totally threw it with my bad hand. No, I think it was my good hand. I threw it, whatever. But that was a one-taker, and we did a practice, and then we did a real one. I remember on the real one, I asked one of the crew members, I think it was the prop master, I'm like, can you record it? Somebody recorded it on their phone. I should have gave them my phone, but I think my phone was still in the green room because I left it. And they took it on their phone, and then I reached out to them. I'm like, oh, I wonder who took it. And I recognized her. It was the prop master, so I found her name on the call sheet, texted her, Never got a reply. I'm like, yo, can I get the video? Never got a reply. So that would have been very cool to include in the BTS. However, we do not have the video, unfortunately.
Despite incidents like this, Andre hides his addiction from Brooke. And they tie the knot in a small ceremony in April of '97.
I don't think it's like he was running down the street.
This was the first scene I
Like the
shot where I
struggles
kind
of
of come
Capriati
in.
and Celis,
Here I am.
Agassi's
I
downward
yell, I'm
spiral
like,
highlights
ah,
the pressure
and then I
facing
sit
star
down,
players.
and I put my
In a
hands on
decade
my head.
when
I had to
no
redo
attention
that.
is being
I had to redo this a few times because the director wanted me to do it a few different ways, but it was fun to kind of just yell and let it all out in front of a room full of people.
paid to mental health.
Feeling my
I think in
freshly
the
shaved
90s,
scalp.
mental health.
So that's it. Okay, so that's it. That was the whole highlight reel, I guess. We're not going to watch Fellas. That was another video. If you want to go to the channel and go watch that video. And the reaction is up. But yeah, so that was Dark Side of the 90s where I portrayed Andre Agassi. I did have to shave my head for that role, which it was the second role I ever professionally booked. So I'm like, let's do it. So I got the role 2 weeks prior to shooting. So my agent, and before I actually got the role, my agent was like, they'd require you to shave your head. Are you comfortable with that? I'm like, yeah, professional gigs. That's what we do. That's what actors want. I'm like, yeah, I'll do it. And I have no regrets, by the way. But I was like, yeah, no problem. I'll do it. Not expecting to get it. I got it. And then I was feeling so good. I wasn't even thinking about it. And then one night, I just thought to myself, and it hit me. It's like, bro, you're going to have to shave your head. You're going to have to go bald. I was freaking out for the next, week and a bit. That was all that was on my mind. I could not enjoy one, moment to the fullest because that was always in the back of my head, and it freaked me out. And you know what I would do? To, make sure that it would, look good because I wanted to, pre-see how it would be. I did the Snapchat shaved head filter, and it did not look good on Snapchat. Personally, I don't think it looked that bad. Some photos will be showing right now, yep. Did not look that bad. Did you think it looked that bad?
I don't think it looked bad. I think it rocked it.
I think I rocked it well. And then it started growing, and then it started getting really weird. I didn't know how to take care of a shaved head. Apparently, you still need to, get it checked out, which I did periodically. But the one thing I am glad that I did it for is because as it grew, I got to experiment new hairstyles and haircuts, and now the one that I'm on right now, there's nothing in my hair, but when there is product, it's kind of like a normal, it can do whatever. Today, I was doing my fitting for a commercial that I booked, and they were checking out different hairstyles on me, and they were able to do a lot. So I'm glad that I now have this hairstyle. It's kind of like a default. I can do anything with it, so if I want to play a jock, I don't know, I'd have it all messed up, and if I want to play a preppy schoolboy, I'd swoop it back or something like that. So that's the only reason why I'm glad. Well, I'm glad for a lot of reasons. I don't regret this. I love this project. Again, it'll hold a special place in my heart, but I'm very glad for that reason also. So yeah, thanks for reacting with me.
Of course.
Thanks, bro. Awesome. Thank you for watching. And if you're looking for any acting coaching, audition coaching, headshots, or demo reels just to add to your portfolio, go down to jordanbeliveau.com, head over to the Dream to Screen subpage, and you can find it all there. Thank you very much.